What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, listen. I was talking to one of my subscribers yesterday, and I figured as soon as I started the video, I can't remember who it was. But brother, shut yourself out. You know who I'm talking to. And we were talking about a video I did last week about the latest update on the Tyre Nichols case concerning, what the lawyers are trying to do with this case, where it's just been noted that they are all going to go to trial. And Tadarius Bean is fighting his decertification pending after the court trial hearing. So with us talking about that, one of the things that was said was they don't need Preston Hemphill. And me and him went back and forth with that. And we both made valid points. But I want to show you today, and that's the premise of this video, why I think Hemphill is important and he's key to their prosecution. Now, normally, a normal person would say, yeah, and I agree with brother, me and him was talking. He said, the video and audio says it all. And he agreed with me with the video I did, where I said, the audio is what they're trying to suppress, and that's the evidence that they say is overwhelming. And it's not the audio while, that's out to the public. It's the audio that's not out to the public. Because remember, they're trying to fight to see what comes out and what doesn't come out. After Tyre Nichols is on the ground and stuff, the damage is already done. So what is so implicative of, after that? I mean, the damage is done. What does it matter? Let it all out. What it was, like I was saying, is what was said when they spoke amongst themselves, if the cameras were still on or not. Because remember, these guys knew the cameras wasn't getting checked. Remember, Memphis got in trouble for that because they wasn't checking the cameras regularly like they were supposed to. So these guys were saying and doing everything. Remember, this is the Scorpion unit we talking about. Going out at night, just acting a fool, doing whatever they want to do. But anyway, let's get back to it. And Preston Hemphill is a part of that. That's why I brought that up. Now, look, listen, let's go through a timeline real quick. They were supposed to go back to court March 1st, right? Then they postponed it. And the defense tried to stop all that. Big going back and forth. They wound up extending it. All of a sudden, they saying, the reason why the prosecution wanted to extend it, we have overwhelming evidence. And we just talked about what the overwhelming evidence was. It's the audio. Now, all of a sudden, with that, that's earlier this year. Then we had the landmark lawsuit. Remember that? $500 million civil suit, city of Memphis, naming implicated in the lawsuit Field Lieutenant Dwayne Smith, C.J. Davis, Chief of Police, Preston Hemphill, Scorpion 5, among other people that weren't named, at this press conference. So all of a sudden, it came out as a shock to some people that Preston Hemphill was agreeing to testify after, some time. He came out with this, and we're doing all this stuff in presumably the order. Now he agrees to testify. Now all of a sudden, on May 2nd, what's the name? District Attorney Mulroy, I think his name is, in the DA's office. He has this press conference. Now, the press conference was saying basically the stuff that everybody's heard, but there was one thing that he said, and I went back and looked at it, and it's in the description box, guys, so you can go and look at it in its entirety, and it's broke down in sections, so you ain't got to go through all the stuff. You can just go to where you want. But he was talking about the family. Remember, he was talking about, hey, maybe the family just want closure and all this other stuff. And I think part of that is right. I guessed it. You guys guessed it. But it's one thing that was said that I looked over. And I'm going to play it for you today. It's very short, but this is one of the reasons why I say Hemphill is key, because of this right here. And I want you to listen closely. The volume on this thing is not loud. For me watching it off of my television and off of YouTube, it's just a video recording of this YouTube channel. So don't blame me for it. I don't want to hear the comments say, hey, it's low. But you got to listen carefully and listen to what's said. Check it out.
Have a statement that the family of Tyre Nichols and their attorney, I do, have asked me to read. Just bear with me for a second while I find that. Here we go. This is a statement from, on behalf of the Tyre Nichols family, by Ben Crump, their attorney. We understand that this individual has been fully cooperating with the investigation and has promised to provide substantial cooperation going forward. In light of this, we are supportive of no charges for this individual. It is our deepest hope and expectation that justice will be served fully and that all who had a role to play in this senseless tragedy will be held accountable. That's it for that update, and we are happy to take your questions.
Did you hear that? Yeah. They said he was in the FBI office and their office talking to them on multiple interviews several times. So I think as soon as he got decertified, or when he found out that Tyre Nichols died, he went and whispered, "I will do anything you need me to do." Or he hinted that he would do something or help. Right? Now, before you bite my head off, this is why I say this. I did a video on him when I talked about the lawsuit, right? And all of a sudden he come to agree to testify. That was part of the arrangement. He don't want to pay that, he don't want his name in that lawsuit. He want that lawsuit dropped from him. Because you got to look at it. He wasn't shit before he became a police officer. If you look at his background, he was in college, you know, not doing too well. The police came up there on a job fair and he was like, fuck it, I'll be a cop. So he gave up college to be a police officer. You know what I'm saying? In life, not knowing him, but looking at his past and just, you know, trying to get a feel for a person, he seemed like he was a fuck up. He was just floating. And, you know, guys do this sometimes. I mean, I've done it. You know, you get out of school, high school, you don't know which direction you want to go. You float, you know, trying to get ahead and get a better job till you figure out what direction you want to go in and really pursue it. I think he was at that point when he became a police officer. So now, and the reason why I bring that up is whatever amount of money they suing him for, he can't pay it any damn way. So he don't want that on him. You know, with future liens and stuff against his bank account stuff, he gonna do what he got to do, or what he feel he have to do. Now, the family has exonerated him somewhat. You read it in the statement. Well, everybody that did is brought to justice, and Ben Crump backed that. You see that? They all sat around. You know what? Besides the "I hope he stomp his ass" statement he made, and he tried to tase him, and he didn't beat him up like the other. So all the vicious stuff Ben Crump was saying in the beginning, now he got to recant on his words and water it down now to persuade the family that this guy right here is needed. And I'm going to get to why he's needed in a second, but hear me out. So the family says, okay, let's make the statement. He ain't do no wrong, this and that, thus nullifying him off of that lawsuit, taking his name off the lawsuit. That's part of the deal. I'm very, very sure of it. If not, there's no reason why he would do that. Why would you work for somebody that's suing you and you're already not in trouble? I think he wants to be a cop again. And don't be surprised if he gets his job back or he gets a job somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you something with this whole situation with him. He don't want to pay the lawsuit, right? Didn't really have no direction before he became a police officer. So it'd be just like him coming out of high school again. He's just an older man. You understand what I'm saying? And three, the situation with him, they're going to help him with some type of employment. Because if you're not in trouble, you ain't got to do nothing. So it's something in him besides that lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? For him to do this. Because, I mean, you got to really look at what he's doing. These people are friends and co-workers of his or whatever back in the day. Well, I mean, back in the day. Right? Now he got to get up there on the stand and tell on these people that saved him in the line of duty. And, you know, you worked and help each other out. That's a hard thing for a man to do. is bad enough to take the stand against somebody that you know and say, hey, he did it. And I'm not defending him. I'm just telling you, from a male standpoint, he had to ask for a lot to be put in this position when he didn't have to do it. Remember, he wasn't in trouble. They just let him go, right? All he had was a lawsuit. So that's what it's about. He want to get out that lawsuit. And from what I'm seeing, if he goes and testifies or just is ready to take the stand, but not needed, that's part of his deal. And paperwork has already been signed. That's why they've been talking to him for so long. And he's been keeping hush about it. Now, Hemphill is key. This is why I say he's key. This is just my opinion. The first thing he's key is the audio got the Scorpion 5 running scared. Because, in the heat of the moment, when you're out there laughing and joking and doing all this stuff, and, they were smoking cigarettes on the scene, breaking all kind of rules and stuff like that. And they were saying stuff, because they was talking like regular dudes. It wasn't nothing professional about them, cussing, saying all kind of stuff. What was said when they was around each other, where you don't see the faces, because if you look at the video where it runs for a while, you hear voices, but you can't put the faces to them. They're going to use him for that. That's the first thing they're going to do. They need names. They need the voices to match the names and faces. They're going to use him because he knows these people. He's always around them. Who's that saying in the background? Isn't that? Oh, that's what's the name? Who's this? Oh, that's him. Who's that? Yeah. Yeah, that's the first thing. Second thing, they're going to use Hemphill from a character standpoint of these gentlemen. They're going to ask about their character, but, not a character witness. Well, he is a character witness, but it's not a good character witness. It's a character witness for the prosecution. Have you seen Chadarius Bean or Emmett Martin never grab somebody or hit them like they hit Tyre Nichols? They're going to be doing stuff like that. Were you there when such and such got their arm twisted, or when they put the gun in the guy's face? Who was that did that? They are going to use him to paint a picture for them. That's the defense. Now, they got enough video evidence and audio evidence, right? But they're using him for the nail in the coffin. Everything that's said after Tyre Nichols was on the ground getting medical attention and all of that stuff, when they were walking and the cameras went dark and all that, they're going to use him to put the names with the voices. Watch. That's what it is. And I think, honestly, when this thing is done, they're going to try to make him look like, he messed up at the first stop, but he really didn't do nothing wrong. He's not it. And he's a nice guy. And I would not be surprised if they try to make him look like a hero at the end. That's just me. And that's how movies go. Was this shit right here look like it's something straight out of the movies. And to be honest with you, I would not be surprised if he get his job back flying under the radar. He not in no specialized group, and he just got an office job. Or he might just be a beat cop. You don't know. But I mean, don't be surprised if he's back on the force, because they're going to paint a picture to where the public's going to look at it as being acceptable for him to get back on the force. Watch. Leave me a comment, guys. Tell me what you think. That's my honest opinion. They need him to put these names and faces to these voices and vouch for the crazy stuff that they was doing in the street. That's why he's important. He's the nail in the coffin. Now, they got a lot of video and audio. You know what I'm saying? But here's another thing. These 5 guys are under investigation. Remember, Hemphill got the call too, because the initial stop, when Emmett Martin said he wouldn't stop for him, it would be on the radio. They need him to decipher that. And I'm very sure that all the police chatter and all of that stuff right there, when they were saying, hey, we got overwhelming evidence and that we got to comb through, when a normal person be like, yo, the video is all you need. How much evidence you need? The reason why is because all of the radio chatter and all that stuff, when Hemphill arrived on scene, they was already there. It's radio chatter that we didn't hear leading up to him being up there, right? Leading up to Hemphill pulling up. Hemphill know the radio chatter. I guarantee you, when the FBI, because I was in a Fed investigation before, when the FBI was doing the investigation, they had all the officer chatter and everything, and they had Hemphill talking and speaking, saying, this is him, this is that. But that doesn't sound right. I responded at this point. This is what I saw. Watch. That's all it is. They using him. He's the polish. He's gonna polish the whole thing up, and he's the nail in the coffin. Like I say, guys, I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Marines channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell me what you think about the video, man. Tell me if you think agree or disagree with me. That's what they're using him for. Now, the beating stuff they don't need him for, but they do need him in the end with the defense that they're trying to, with the prosecution, what they're trying to do. They're trying to make these dudes look like villains. They're gonna bring up case all the people that they beat up before. They're gonna have them in court. Watch, it's gonna be crazy. But we have to stay tuned. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.